Halle Berry is still sour about her golden raspberries. Amy Adams was 100% that bitch. And the actors should really just learn to be quiet sometimes.
Oh, it's time for class.
Class is in session!
Roll call! Bueller?
I'm gonna be late for class.
Bueller?
Am I hallucinating here? Just what in the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm late for class.
You are mine now. You belong to me.
Did you study for the test?
No more complaining. No more Mr. Kimblett to go to the bathroom. Nothing. There is no bathroom.
Hello, classmates. Welcome to another episode of Middle Class Film Class. I'm your host for today, Pete.
I'm Tyler.
And I'm Joseph.
And we have a great show for you today. Welcome to everyone on YouTube Live and otherwise, and of course, the OG classmates out in podcast land.
Right.
We got a full house in the chat right now.
Yeah.
Already.
The whole gang's here.
Starting hot.
Yeah, that's right. Yo-Yo player, new listener from last week. He's back. Or she's back. I don't know.
They're back.
They're back.
Yeah.
Joel.
Hey, you're here.
Yeah. Bruce, Joel, Angie, Heather, all Angry Otter for a hot minute, just to smash that like. So thank you for that. We appreciate it.
I'm glad we're not like that kind of podcast. We're like, well, remember to hit that
Smash that motherfucker. Hold on. Smash that like.
And make sure you put it on the, what is it?
There we go. We're that show now.
Yeah.
It's we're a small show. We're a small channel.
Yeah, we're the punk rock of movie podcasts.
I thought we were the industry heavy hitters.
It can
We're
be
the
both.
underdogs.
It could be both. We are both controlling Hollywood and also underdogs.
Okay, well, so
Yeah.
I know.
This is like Trump's actually our president.
Yeah. Wait,
Oh
what?
God.
Hold on a second. What the fuck?
Yeah. There's
Biden's just a mannequin.
there's
Joseph said that, not me.
Hey, do you guys have pet names for your significant others, or do they have pet names for you?
Yeah. They're not.
What is it?
They're not appropriate for the radio though.
What, really?
That bitch.
Yeah, that bitch.
That's mine.
So,
What is yours?
I
What's
mean,
yours?
is it because you
Pet
know
names versus nicknames.
we always say like, you know, babe, honey,
Yeah.
sweet,
Yeah.
sweetheart.
Those are what.
But is there anything like
sweet
catered
nothings?
specifically to you? Like, does Brianna ever say like Petey?
No, she does not. PD's reserved for mostly like my family. It calls me that.
Oh, okay.
It's not a romantic
PD.
connotation. Yeah.
What
Oh,
about
Petey.
you? What about you? What about you, Joseph?
No.
No, none
most-
at all.
No.
100% of my nicknames that have for me have my actual name baked into it, like Pito Burrito,
Peter.
or you know,
What?
Pistol Pete, Whiskey Pete, Sober Pete,
Slippery Pete.
Yeah, Stinky Pete. You know, take your pick. Skinny Pete doesn't apply.
Has anyone called you pizza?
No, that's
Pizza?
that's the worst.
That's like almost like
Wait,
it's like
that
opposite of Skinny Pete.
Yeah, that's
Hey, pizza. Like,
that's the worst.
guess
Okay.
what? You like pizza.
Good to know. Good
Yeah.
to know.
Okay, what about you? I know. Well, you told us last.
What I forgot what it was. It was like Tizy.
Is Tyga?
I don't know, Angie. You want to chime in on the chat with this one?
What is it?
Tylee.
Tylee. That's a female name from a character in Avatar.
It sounds like
right?
Tylee. Yeah.
like two different words.
Yeah. Well,
Tylee.
I was just curious. I was thinking about that.
Well,
Yeah. Tylee is the
Wait, Joseph. So Deanna doesn't call you anything like Joey.
Joey's a
fuck
Joey's
no.
a family name for Joseph.
no,
Also,
no one calls me Joey except
Yeah.
for my mom.
Yeah.
Wait, your mom calls you that? You'd hate that, don't you?
I mean, it doesn't bother me because it's my mom.
It would bother me.
It would bother me if
bother you.
anybody else did
So
that.
if I did that to you,
I wouldn't
You
acknowledge
you'd
you.
be
Yeah.
seething.
You wouldn't respond.
I would just act like you're not talking to me.
Yeah.
Tyler's been known by many random women at restaurants and coffee shops as that guy. Oh, here comes that guy again. Don't look now, as that guy's here.
Oh my god! Did you see that guy? He's back.
Yeah. Which one? Oh, you know the one.
Oh, that one.
That's not true.
Tyga.
That's not true.
Heather says it's Tyga, but it's spelled TIE-GA. Tyga.
Tie.
Like
a tie.
tied up.
That guy again.
There's that guy again.
It's funny because I can
'Cause it's true.
imagine.
That's true.
I can. That was not true.
Well, our show today is going to be the last one for 2 weeks that has Joseph here.
I know.
That has me here.
God.
You're going to the East Coast.
I'm leaving for the East Coast. I'm doing the National Treasure circuit. The National Treasure road trip.
What does that mean?
He's going to go steal the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, that's on the agenda.
Okay.
Because we're starting in DC.
Just don't steal it.
I just said I was
We're going to.
Oh, you are. Oh,
starting in DC, driving up the East Coast, ending in Portland, Maine, and hitting Philly, New York, Boston, Salem, and everywhere in between.
That kind of sounds like the ludicrous hose in different area codes tour.
Well,
I got hose from Portland, Oregon.
Deanna
to Portland,
will be
Maine.
with me.
Oh,
and she will be a hoe in different area codes.
That's his nickname for her.
Hoe.
Ho.
Ho and Ho.
Come here, ho.
Oh my God, I had no idea.
Oh, please.
To be a fly on
Not
the wall.
bitch. That's disrespectful.
Yeah.
That's disrespectful. But Ho isn't.
Hoe is honorable.
Yeah.
Never.
Never.
H-O. You can't spell honorable without hoe.
Yeah, exactly. That is true, I suppose.
Yeah, H-O. Honorable.
Well, it sounds like you're gonna have a great time.
Yeah, he's
I
gonna.
hope so.
Yeah.
I heard it's humid over there, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Before we get into the Gavin chatter,
Oh, you got
I want to bring it back to Godzilla real quick.
Oh, okay, cool.
One of the mysteries that's been plaguing me and others since Godmilla Zinus 1, Godzilla minus 1, is Godzilla's like buoyancy and how he's able to stay afloat.
Why is this even a question? He swims. He's treading water like
His
a.
arms
Have
are-
you seen
his-
iguanas?
Yeah, he's treading water like a water polo player.
But anyway, the plan in the Godzilla minus 1 is to sink him, right?
Yeah,
But like, how is he just staying afloat like that? And anyway,
Yeah,
and
he's hollow.
It's been plaguing 12 of us since the movie came out. It's very
12?
very
12.
small loophole, large in my brain. But I think the answers finally come out. Finally, we have finally getting how he's doing it,
Oh, okay.
and you wouldn't even see it coming.
You have a thing here.
Yeah. I have a thing. I have a reference here.
Okay.
Where
And
is it?
so that's really how he's doing it.
He's just walking.
He's walking.
He's got Jinko jeans.
yeah, with the Jinko jeans.
He's got the Jinkos, and they're keeping him up, and his gigantic legs that extend when he gets in the water.
Can people see this image?
Yeah, on the
yeah.
if they're on
my
YouTube.
God, yes.
We're seeing it live.
I saw that movie this weekend. Longlegs.
Yeah. Longlegs, the ultimate anime crossover.
Oops, I got my long legs on.
Oh my God.
I love it. It's a great theory.
I mean,
But yeah, that's what I'm running with now. That's in my head canon.
He's just hollow. That's the thing. He's just hollow. He gets
like a
fat
bird.
ass.
He's like a bird.
He's like a balloon.
Yeah. He's careful with my bones. I have avian bones.
Yeah,
syndrome.
he has avian bones. Makes sense.
I mean, lizards and birds are very similar. So
But yeah, he's got like 6
I
knees.
bet that's true.
But yeah,
maybe he's like Inspector Gadget. Go Godzilla legs.
Go Jinko jeans.
Yeah.
but yeah,
Very good. I like that. All right, so let's get right into some Gavin chatter. Get this thing going.
Find some character, you lad. Now's the time for Gavin chatter.
Gavin chatter, movie news of the week. Tyler, lead us off.
All right, so we all remember the abomination that was the Catwoman movie in 2003. Halle Berry still to this day is carrying the weight of the negativeness of that movie that was perpetuated towards her
Really?
by fans.
Move on,
and critics.
Halle. Move on.
That well,
she's like, remember when you guys hated me? And they're
So
like,
this-
oh yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
so in the beginning, so this comes from Variety.com. The title is Halle Berry hated that Catwoman backlash got all put on me, and it's my failure. I didn't make it alone, but I've absolutely carried it. It's kind of like a weird paradoxical thing because she's saying well, I didn't make it. I don't care. And then she goes on to say, I hate that I got the backlash for it. She's still carrying that baggage.
She still did a bad job as an actor in that movie.
I mean, she did. I haven't seen the movie in a very
I've never seen it. I've seen enough scenes of it to know that it was a bad
I saw it in
performance.
theaters.
You saw it in
Wow.
theaters? Wow.
Yeah.
How was it?
Whenever it came out. What year was that?
I don't know. When you saw it, what was your reaction?
I was a child when it came out, so I was like,
I was a child. I was in love.
He said,
I was like, Halle Berry.
Yeah, that's right.
I wasn't the basketball scene in that movie.
Oh yeah, the best.
It's like one of the most insanely edited things I've ever seen, though.
It's crazy. It's
I know it's like a really bad scene, but I haven't seen it in a while.
It's
him
between
and Benjamin Bratt.
Yeah, Benjamin Bratt.
Yeah.
It's between that and the scene of Liam Neeson jumping over a fence in Taken 4 or whatever it
It's like
is.
17 cuts.
Yeah, in like 10 seconds, trying to make an old man look like he can jump a fence.
Well, so this is kind of like the interesting thing, though, too, because this marks the 20th anniversary of Catwoman's release. And she admitted that she always hated being the sole target of the movie's backlash, which I don't really necessarily agree on. I think she's just being a little bit insecure.
She's got main character syndrome because she's Halle Berry.
True.
Yeah.
Halle Berry.
True. The infamous comic book movie was a box office flop, and Berry was awarded a Razzie for her performance. As we all know, it was pretty famous. I think that's like kind of what put the Razzies like on the map, where people started recognizing that this organization.
It's arguable that could be the turning point for the Razzies.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, that's when I knew it. I mean, I was only 2003, so I was like,
what is this?
12 years old. Yeah. Okay.
Halle
I
Berry.
thought you were avoiding copyright.
Nope.
Nope.
That's a Halle Berry song.
But this is how this is how vain she is.
Well, she accepted the Razzie for it.
This is how vain. That was
No, she did.
Oh, that was her? I thought it was someone else.
Paul Verhoeven also secretly went to the Razzies for Showgirls. He was nominated for like 7 times.
Oh, Jesus.
And he went up on stage and accepted. He didn't tell anybody that it was him.
I thought it was I can't remember the actress's name who did it that I was thinking of. But anyways, this is how vain Halle Berry is, because in the interview she said, and this is her direct quote, she says, "I felt like it was Halle Berry's failure, but I didn't make it alone." She's talking to herself in the third person.
Yeah.
Why would Halle Berry do this? This isn't like Halle Berry.
And this is what she said. She said, "All these years, I've absolutely carried it." So she never forgot it. Like for the past 20 years, she's been thinking about this abomination of a comic book movie.
Is it not enough that she's one of the most beautiful women on the planet and probably a multimillionaire and a household name that everybody knows and is beloved by almost everybody?
I mean, she was in Swordfish.
And still looks phenomenal.
She was in Swordfish.
Still looks phenomenal at her whatever age she is. One time she was in a really shitty movie and got a shitty award for it.
One time?
And she still, and got a shitty award for it.
Okay.
Yeah. But the thing is, she's carried this burden.
Hey, Tyler, you know what happens to a frog when it's struck by lightning?
What?
The same thing that happens to everybody else. That's her best line from X-Men.
I was just like, I don't
From
recognize the
X-Men
reference.
X-Men, I think it might be 2.
Okay.
Oh, I think it is 1. And then Toad gets struck by lightning and goes,
When she read that line, she was like,
she goes, yeah, here we go. Razzie number 2.
And so
coming for it. Going for the turkey.
Yeah.
she says, all the other superheroes save the world. They don't just save women from cracked faces, because I guess it was some weird experimental
the
face
plot of the
cream.
movie?
Yeah, the plot of the movie. It was like a face cream thing.
Really?
Yeah, Sharon
Yeah.
Stone,
Oh my
I think,
God.
plays the villain. Is it
Oh
Sharon
my
Stone?
God.
I always knew that was a soft superhero plight, but at the time in my career, I didn't have the agency I have today or belief that I could challenge that. So I went along with it. So I think the idea is that she chose a bad project because she felt like she had to, because she wasn't a household name.
Well,
And so
Well,
now
at the time, what she had
I have
done.
a little context from Heather in the chat. She says that
Chad, is this real?
she chose to do this. I just looked it up. Heather believes that Halle chose to do the Catwoman movie because the Jinx spinoff from James Bond was canceled. She was trying really hard to get a franchise.
Oh.
And there was her character from whatever James Bond it was that she was in.
I didn't even know she wasn't.
Die Another Day or something like that.
Yeah, she was in a James Bond movie.
She
was
played a character of Jinx, and there was a set to have a spinoff. And it says she appeared in The Man with the Golden Gun with Michelle Yeoh. It was a household name in China, but 007's leading ladies tend to be younger, lesser known actresses on the come up. The cast, she was in the Pierce Brosnan in his final 007 adventure. She'd already won an Oscar and been nominated for another, and starred as Storm in X-Men and been elevated to A-lister through her infamous appearance in Swordfish alongside John Travolta and Hugh Jackman.
Huge Jackman.
Huge Jackman. But yeah, so there was a plan for it, and then she was going to be like a spin-off star of this James Bond series and be her own like travel down the James Bond trail.
Right.
And then it got canceled.
I think that would have been a really good direction to go
Sure,
in.
absolutely.
I think that would have been cool.
I love Halle Berry.
So
Gothica? Anyone?
Yeah, duh.
So the first thing that was kind of like a doomed project for Catwoman was they had an early
we
shot
should talk
that,
about Catwoman.
Huh?
I think we should
Spend more time about Catwoman.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, I think
should
we
all
might. I
take
think
a
we might
viewing.
take a dip in that.
We did
movie.
Cats commentary.
Yeah, want to do a commentary or
Cat
want to do a
woman
watch along?
Yeah,
commentary.
that would be fine.
Get to watch along. Well, don't spoil it. We need to talk about it in the commentary.
So the producer,
Here we go.
the producer Denise D. Novi.
Oh, Jesus.
It.
I think it's Denis Villeneuve.
Now that would be a twist.
Yeah.
What cascaded like all of the negativity is there was an early shot of the Catwoman suit that got leaked, or it was in like some sort of magazine, and people who were fans of Catwoman and the Batman franchise in general, they remember Michelle Pfeiffer's costume. They were saying Halle Berry's costume was not canonical.
Canonical.
Canonical. Okay. All right.
Canonical?
Mechanical.
Yeah, you're missing an N in there. It's
Canonical.
canonical, yeah.
So they didn't like that it was canonical to the comic book version of Catwoman. And so the producer of the Catwoman movie said that was that was the beginning of the end, essentially. Like
Once they saw the costume,
yeah, once they saw the costume. And
was
so
it at the time? Was there
was there internet? Yes.
no.
There was internet.
Was there any backlash to like, I guess like if it were to happen today, there'd be people who'd be like, "Why she got to be black now?" Was anything like that? Back then?
No, there was no race thing. It was all about
good.
it was all about
no racial bigotry here.
it was all about the costume.
Okay.
Because they were trying to do something
Nerds.
different, and the nerds are a very loud minority group, and they're a very loud and minority group.
We've been
and-
oppressed.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, Tom?
Yeah, no, that's it. I mean, I thought the funniest part of this article and the interview that she did was her talking to herself in the third person.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That I did not expect that from Halle Berry. I thought she was a little bit more grounded, but her saying her name.
She is not grounded. She is one step below Mariah Carey.
Oh,
She was hot, dude. Hell yeah.
but yeah, that's all I got.
All right, Joseph, what do you got?
Okay, so I have we talked about this movie coming out with Amy Adams called Night Bitch.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's coming out.
Great name.
Based on a book or a novel by Rachel Yoder.
I think it's just fun to say. Night Bitch.
Yeah, it's a good name.
And the plot of the book, and we kind of talked about this as well. I'll just recant it or remind us. Tell the story of a stay-at-home mother whose domesticity turns ferocious as she slowly starts mutating into a dog.
I still am haunted by that word. How do you say that word?
Domesticity.
I think
Domesticity.
it's domesticity. But you're missing a C in there, like domestic.
No,
I
you're
guess,
not.
but I guess
domesticity. I was saying it right. No,
domesticity.
that's not right.
Domesticity.
Domesticity. Okay.
Chat, how do you say this word?
Domesticity.
Chat, drop a voice note in the chat, please. Make your best attempt to say this fucking word.
Domesticity. I had it.
Domesticity.
There you go. Domesticity.
See?
It's
I'm
the
not
simple
totally illiterate.
domesticity. The simple domesticity.
I don't know.
Domesticity. There you go. All right. Anyway, Amy Adams has described the transformation into said dog as terrifying.
It's such a outrageous plot.
But it's not though. It's just a werewolf.
Yeah.
It's just the same thing. It's a fucking dog.
That's a great point.
It's a canid.
Maybe it's more just like a regular dog, not like a werewolf.
Yeah, it's a werewolf.
It's a
I'm
domestic.
turning into a Samoyed.
What do you got? Like a chow or something?
I'm a Shiba Inu. No, wait, I'm an Akita Inu. It was so unique, her quotes. It was so unique and otherworldly and like nothing I'd ever read before about the book. The thing I really attached to is this idea of loss of identity. And she later related it to her process of taking on the character. It felt so organic because there's many a day when I look at myself and I'm like, well, that's new. What's that? It just sort of became an extension of the way our bodies evolve as we go through different metamorphosis, be it childbirth or aging. And there's a description of what the like makeup and stuff that she had to wear for this transformation. At the same time, this specific metamorphosis required Adams to don extra dog-like nipples and unleash her violent side on others, including a cat.
Okay.
Dog nipples. Like the 8 nipples in a row?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Acknowledging the difficulty of presenting the story on screen, Yoder, the author, said to Vanity Fair, one of the real challenges of Night Bitch is that I made the main character turn into a dog. No, it is. What is the tone? What is the tone going to be? Is it going to be funny? Is it going to be dark? Is it going to be horror? This is a character who's in emotional turmoil, but this is also a very absurd situation. A very absurd situation. Nevertheless, Amy Adams admitted that she felt natural in this new skin and perhaps even a little bit freed from the boundaries of social norms. So now she's into puppy play.
Oh, wow.
Discussing her process, she said, I wasn't judging anything as it was going on. I wasn't judging my physical appearance. I was just in the character so much. So yeah, I suppose that could feel liberating at times, but also terrifying. So
she's thinking way too much into this movie.
I don't know, man. I think it's great.
Amy Adams, the actress who's playing the main character, is thinking too hard about
her job.
About turning into a dog?
Yeah, I mean, why? Anyways, I agree. Yeah,
I don't know the content of the book, but
how dare she care about this project? She's investing months of her life into,
or what it means, or what it's trying to say.
Yeah.
But
I'll just show up and cash a check, like fucking.
I mean, like it's just the based on the context that was just given to me. It's like
Tyler would rather her be like Marlon Brando, like not learn the lines, just tape napkins with the lines on
yeah.
to the people's chest.
Yes.
But yeah,
you're telling me I'm turning into some sort of a night bitch? That's not the line, Amy. All right,
I can't believe it. I'm the night bitch.
If they don't say night bitch in this movie, I'm gonna be so pissed.
So, I mean, color me intrigued. However, this is a very strange plot.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm curious to read the book actually, just based on what's going down.
I'm excited
on what it's trying to say. What the point, I guess, of that whole thing? I mean, she's like a woman incel, like
a woman incel
or she has agoraphobia, and then she just is turning into a dog for some reason.
Maybe,
I don't know. Maybe she just.
If you could turn into a dog, Joseph, what dog would you turn into?
Like a specific type of dog?
Yeah,
I'd want to be a mutt.
Okay,
so that I wouldn't have any health issues.
Oh, well, okay, that's the smart ass answer. But what breed?
So I have to choose one specific.
Yeah,
breed?
if you had to be a pure breed,
maybe like a shepherd of some kind.
I could see that.
Fast and agile.
I can see you being a German shepherd.
Nah, I don't want to be an Irish wolfhound.
Yeah,
someone said you had to be
shaggy as fuck.
I can see that.
Oh wait, you said you want to be an Irish wolfhound.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you said I don't want to be an Irish wolfhound.
I do. Shaggy, lanky, like nightmarish in a way, but also very sweet.
Yeah, like a sleep paralysis dog.
Yeah,
demon.
Speaking of which, Force 5 podcast, friend of the show, Jason Kleberg, his latest episode was Top 5 Werewolf Movies.
Oh.
It was a really good episode, and his guest, Matt Kanopy, he's from killerhorrorcritic.com, and he has this interesting take about what werewolves mean to him and like what the actual allegory is, because it's an underused like cryptid within like this like universe. Vampires, you get a lot of vampire movies, you get zombie movies, you get other types of monsters. We're starting to see more like skinwalkers and wendigos and shit like that. Yeah. But werewolves is like, it only happens every so often. And an interesting thing that I learned from that, or thought about from, his podcast, this episode, was in order to make a good werewolf movie, you have to invest a shit ton into practical effects for the transformation scene. There's always like one hallmark transformation scene, and like Rick Baker fucking killed it with American Werewolf.
Yeah.
And it's like everything is like based compared to that. So if you're a low budget filmmaker and you're trying to make a werewolf movie, you gotta either do some shitty
And then
stuff.
Wolf Cop came along.
Yeah, and Wolf Cop changed the game with Wolf Dick.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like they went in a different direction with it.
What is this?
Yeah. So I would encourage people to watch that too or listen to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Amy Adams donning extra nipples, dog nature.
Now we're
and
talking, dude.
attacking
Yeah.
cats.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like the attacking cats part of it.
It's a dog. It's a dog.
Yeah, no, dogs.
What is this,
shouldn't do
Looney
that.
Tunes?
Yeah.
But
Then we also have that-
very curious to
that
see
Steve-
Amy Adams with 16 nipples on her body.
8 nipples.
Or 8.
Joseph Joel sa's that you nailed that word the first time.
Domesticity. Domesticity.
You're never gonna say it again, right?
No. It's already too late.
Domesticity. Domesticity.
Anything else?
No.
All right, cool.
No.
2 things. Number 1, before I get into, I have another game. Yes.
Oh, wait, you have a story as well?
No, I just want to read what Joel wrote to me about this knife.
Oh, yeah, the knife.
Yeah, so Joel.
Knife stuff.
Yeah, people who don't know Joel in our chat, he's a faithful listener, Papa Joel.
He's a knife guy.
He's
Papa
a knife.
Joel.
He's what we call a knife guy.
He's
yeah.
a knife guy.
Yeah, he's made knives from scratch. He's a smithy. He's a master of the metallurgical arts. And he said, I had to check out that Bowie knife from Mute. That's a neat little knife.
That's a neat little knife.
And I asked him, it's intimidating how it's mounted. Is that practical? Because I said on the show, doesn't seem very practical. It would
Right.
fall out.
Yeah, it
You
would
could
fall
sever
out.
your own spinal cord.
Yeah. So this is basically what he says. He says, I didn't watch the whole movie. I just saw a grainy clip of him drawing it from his sheath. And it looks like it's horizontal to the ground and the small of his back, which is true.
Yeah.
Possibly on his waistband attached with a belt loop. Very practical. A fixed blade knife in a sheath is not a small thing. Even a little 4-inch knife is about 8 inches overall with a handle. You can mount it to your hip and have it point down like a classic pistol holder, but you'll always know it's there when you sit or walk and it's hitting your thigh or even the side when you bend down to tie your shoe or something. That Bowie knife from the movie is likely about a 6-inch blade, so it gets ridiculous to hip carry unless you mount it at an angle like 45 degrees, and then you generally have that as a cross draw. A right-handed person would have to pull across their left hip with the handle facing forward. Much more comfortable, but you look like a lunatic if you're not on a farm or in the backcountry. So flat along your waistband will let you sheath a large knife and it won't interfere with your movement at all, except for being uncomfortable if you sit down in a chair that has a back on it. Wouldn't want that to considering driving with that thing mounted that way. Also, it lets you completely conceal it with a large shirt or preferably a jacket. The draw might be a little awkward because you reach behind your back, but it can be solved with a little practice. Then he says, I don't carry anything any more than a pocket knife, and I usually not even that, but I've made knives and leather sheaths and even a pistol holder. The mechanics of mounting something rigid of any size to the human body is kind of fun. Where do you put it? How does it mount securely?
Is it ergonomical?
Yeah, does it interfere with
Is
your
it
motions?
ergonomical?
Is it convenient? You'll never find a more stable place that is perfectly rigid than the plane of your hips or on your lower back, where the knife was mounted in Mute. That also led me to the logical conclusion that boot knives are in fact an urban myth. Have you ever had a pebble in your shoe? It's fucking annoying.
Yeah.
A full fixed blade knife and a sheath in your boot. What kind of sadist would stuff that into his shoe? It's ridiculous. So great stuff, Joel. Thank you for
Yeah,
that.
that's a great analysis.
He's like, actually, Pete.
Yeah, he actually to me. So okay, cool. So my game. This is a series. I have a series compiled here, 8 different songs from actors that tried their hand at making music.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
So your task, you two, is to name the singer of the song. Okay.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
This is gonna be fun. Okay. So first up, and you both get one guess each.
Okay.
And there's nothing on the line. It's just for fun. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Which dramatic actress and MCU collaborator sang these lyrics in a song called "I Don't Want to Grow Up"? I don't want to have to shout it out. I don't want to be filled with doubt. I don't want to be a good Boy Scout. I don't want to learn to count. I don't want to have the biggest amount. I don't want to grow up.
Are you just reading the lyrics?
I'm just reading the lyrics.
Oh, I thought you were playing the
I'll
song.
play the song afterwards.
Okay, so
Are we guessing now?
You guess now, yeah.
So you said the
MCU
It
contributor?
is which dramatic actress and MCU collaborator sang these lyrics on a song called I Don't Want to Grow Up?
Who's going first? Is
Doesn't matter.
Oh,
Doesn't matter.
Scarlett Johansson.
One second, let me get to my little dings and Scarlett Johansson.
What? Really?
Didn't even give Tyler a chance.
Stick to acting.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. ScarJo, I love you. I
Sounds
got
like
a big crush on you, but
Like a Lady Gaga impersonator.
yeah, it does.
So
We
that's-
have Lady Gaga at home.
Little Lady Gaga at home. All right, so that's Scarlett Johansson. Very good, Joseph. Okay, next one up. Which conspiracy theorist actor who also had a stint in the MCU, albeit very short, sang these lyrics? Been a lot of Casanovas you dealt with. Lights on the door, but it's empty. And you call, now you wanted me. Life isn't simply the tastin'. All seems so sure when you're wasted. And you called, now you count on me. So the song is called Sanctuary. And it is more or less a country song.
Chris Pratt.
God, not Chris Pratt.
You said it was not in the MCU for very long.
Correct.
It's a country song.
More or less. It's kind of like a bluesy country sort of R&B bluegrass.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. Very good.
Damn, you're good at this.
Was it a conspiracy theorist?
Yes. Copyright.
All right, there's Terrence Howard doing his thing.
Okay.
He's dressed like Lou Bega in the video. To be honest, I prefer Lou Bega. All right, next song. This comedic actor of the 80s, 90s, and today performed a duo with Michael Jackson in a song called What's Up With You? And the lyrics are, always is the mountain, always is the tree, always is the ocean, always is the seas. What's up with you?
Comedic actor.
Comedic actor.
Comedic actor of the 80s, 90s, and today. We can't stop this world because it's not our world. We can't just jack each other up, in parentheses, jack each other up. Those are the lyrics.
Jack each other up.
Jack each other up, jack each other up. And the song is called What's Up With You? All one word.
Eddie Murphy.
Nice.
Eddie Murphy. Very good.
For the record, I was going to say that.
Yeah.
This is Edward Murphy himself.
Edward Murphy.
Eduardo Murphy.
His video is something else.
Yeah.
There goes Michael with the What's Up With You. Very good so far. 2-1. All right.
Please clap.
You guys are killing it. All right, next up. What polarizing actress outed herself as a country girl when she sang these lyrics for a song called Country Strong? I have withered, longer summers without a drop of rain. Push me in a corner and I will come out fighting. I will lose, but I will keep my faith. 'Cause I'm country strong, hard to break. Like a ground I grew upon. You may fool me and I'll fall, but I won't stay down long. 'Cause I'm country strong.
Is this a more recent person? What do you mean by polarizing? Polarizing in like she's a good or bad actress?
She's conservative. Like
That's up for you guys to decide.
And it's country?
Yeah. Don't look at the chat.
I'm not looking at the
Okay, cool.
no, I'm not.
I don't know if anybody's guessing or not.
No,
but
they're not.
Who's the girl
I've been
who
looking.
played in The Mandalorian who got canned?
Gina Carano.
Is it her?
Is that your guess?
Yes. Dang.
Not Gina Carano.
Polarizing actress.
Yeah.
Polarizing in what way? Katherine Heigl.
This is Gwyneth Paltrow.
God dang it! Oh shit!
Oh my god.
Dang it! I no, because that was gonna be my second guess.
Yeah, no.
Oh my God. That's terrible.
No, thank you. All right, next up. This action star has been in the public eye for 40 plus years. He also sang these lyrics for a song called My God.
My God.
Maybe you don't like my skin or what I believe in. You don't like my prayer. You don't like the clothes I wear. How many people have to die for what one man might think is right? The true path is more than one. Why do you force your will with a gun? Let's start another holy war. I'll show you what I'm killing for.
What the fuck?
My God is better than your God.
What?
Unhinged is what that is.
I was going to say, like,
Unhinged.
Jesus
This person's
Christ.
still alive?
Yes.
And he's 40 years.
He's been in the action star in the public eye for 40 plus years.
Action star.
Yeah.
Still an action star?
He's been in the public eye for 40 plus years.
Sylvester Stallone? Dang.
This guy sounds like a Charlton Heston type of person. Action star.
And if anybody in the chat wants to guess, feel free to. It may or may not help Joseph because he's looking at Joseph and Tyler are both looking at the screen.
No, I am because I already guessed.
I know. I'm just saying for the next ones. Give me a guess.
It's
Joseph.
Clint Eastwood.
This is Steven Seagal
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's
Oh yeah, I forgot he was like a musician as well.
and a sheriff.
and the sheriff.
And a martial arts master.
Yeah.
My God.
That is
Good Lord.
I know. That's rough. All right.
All right.
Next up. Okay. Another action star who is self-proclaimed to be 50% each of Russian, Mongolian, Native American, Irish, and more, also sang these lyrics for a song called Strut. When the girls start to strut, you could look at their butt. You shouldn't do that. The gal dress is just as pretty, not just there to cover that kitty.
Yeah.
wow.
She was hot, dude. This is also an action star who has proclaimed in different interviews to be more than half Russian, Mongolian, Native American, Irish, and others. Again, he's never clear about what he is. He changes the story all the time.
He's 50% of each one.
Yes, he says in one interview, he said, I'm more than half Russian. And then the next interview, yeah, I'm at least half Mongolian. Next interview is like, my family's like 75% Native American.
Okay.
It sounds like
Who is this? Who
like
is this action star singer who turned singer?
action star turned singer.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Gen X or a boomer.
Yeah, it does. I mean,
Give us a guess, guys.
was his peak in the 80s?
I'm not going to tell you that.
Has he been around?
He's been around.
He's been around.
He's
Been
been
around.
around.
American. for
Action star. Yeah.
sure. Or maybe Russian. Or maybe Mongolian.
Yeah. Possibly Irish. Could be Italian. Give us an answer.
I don't know. I can't even think.
give
Nick
up.
Nolte.
Nick Nolte. Bruce Willis.
The correct answer, again, is Steven Seagal.
Wait a minute. What?
Here we go.
He made another song.
This one's Jamaican. Here, he comes in right here.
Oh. Oh, no.
Oh, Steven. Steven. No.
That lyric says, "Me want the punani tonight. Me like to watch the way you walk around me. All right."
Of all the places he says he's from, not even from Jamaica.
Not Jamaica, yeah.
Not Jamaica.
Yeah, except Chet Hanks might have done a collab with them.
Oh, yeah.
All right, next one up.
God damn it.
This jack of all trades actor who dipped his toe into the DC pool also sang these lyrics for a song called Frontier Justice. I went over Jimmy Furloughs. He's off hunting in Mexico. I took his 45, ain't gonna tell no lie. I walk right through that rain on Maine, trying to feel my brain. My hand went numb. Oh God, thinking what I had done. It's 18 years now, still can't see how no one saw or stopped me in that summer rain. He's talking about taking frontier justice, killing somebody.
Yeah.
And it's a country song from a jack of all trades actor who dipped his toe into the DC pool and sang those lyrics.
A jack of all trades actor is in like
he's done action, comedy, serious, period piece.
Jeff Bridges.
Good guess, Jeff Bridges. Good guess, because he's the jack of all trades for sure.
Yeah. Remember,
dipped his toes in the DC.
Yes, he played a very notable DC character one time.
One time. No.
Nothing.
No, not him. Not him. Josh Brolin.
Oh, that's a good one.
This is Val Kilmer, Batman himself.
I mean, okay.
Ever since you let me know you're taking the job across town.
This is Val himself.
Told me you might go
Oh god.
The music's better than he's doing.
Why don't you just continue doing Jim Morrison voice?
I don't know.
Right?
All right, and last one. So far, you guys are 2 for Joseph, 1 for Tyler.
Yeah.
Something like that?
No, I got two.
You got 2?
No, I only got 1.
That's okay.
You're
It don't matter. There's no stakes. Okay, and the last one. I'm not reading the lyrics, but this action star also performs under the blues and R&B name Bruno Randolini.
Bruno Randolini.
Bruno Randolini.
Bruno Randolini.
And I will say, before you guys both, his name has been said in this quiz so far, once before. Bruno Randolini.
Is there any lyric? Or you
No,
is that
that's the guess.
Nick
That's the
Nolte.
case. Not Nick Nolte.
Is it Brolin?
Is it Josh Brolin?
Is that your guess?
Yeah. Bang.
Bruce Willis.
Oh god.
Also does music.
A lot of people. So I found when I was looking this up, there's a lot of actors who are like lead singers in bands.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really count that because it's like an ensemble sort of thing.
Sure.
It's if you're saying this is Gwyneth Paltrow singing country song strong, that's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
If Gwyneth Paltrow is one of 5 member band and they call themselves the Johnsontown, Suzettes or something like that.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't care. That's fine. You're in a band, cool, whatever.
Johnny Depp in that one band.
Or what's his name? Keanu Reeves in Dogstar.
Yeah.
So that is all I got.
All right.
You guys did pretty good. You guys better than I thought. I figured we might get 1 right. So I
don't know why there was like all these actors who thought that they could have a music career.
It's all spawned because I saw the video or I heard the song for Steven Seagal's "Me Want the Punani."
Yeah.
My God.
And I'm like, what the fuck? This is the worst. And there were some bad lyrics I found.
Yeah.
Some of them bad lyrics, some of them just bad music.
It seems to like work better the other way. The musicians going into acting rather than actors
you
going
look
into
at Lady
music.
Gaga.
Lady Gaga, Tom Waits,
Chris
Tom
Christopherson.
Hootie.
Yeah.
Who was he?
He wasn't anything.
Chris Christopherson.
Yeah, Chris Christopherson. He's great.
And Tom Waits definitely comes to mind though. He's a good actor.
Sturgill Simpson more recently. He's starting to pop up and stuff. I like him. He's in The Creator.
Vanilla Ice.
Ice Cube.
Who? You mean Rob Michael?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Vanilla
Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Ice Cube's son.
Ice-T.
I was gonna say Ice-T. He was very successful in Law and Order.
Vanilla Ice.
Also Ice. Other people. I might do this again because there was a number of them that I found that I'm like, this is very bad.
Yeah. That was fun.
Vincent Diesel's in there.
Vincent Diesel.
Oh no.
Yeah, his stuff is new too. He just came out with the album last year.
Did?
Yeah.
Kid Rock.
Oh fuck. Kid Rock. He was always a musician.
I guess so.
All right. Anyway, so that's all we got for Gab and Chatter. Now it's time for Streaming Pigs.
Movies.
Wanna watch a movie?
Yes, I do. Disney Plus. Oh, HBO Max.
If I don't get the pick, show's over.
I have grown accustomed to Hulu Plus.
Amazon Prime.
I like Netflix.
You found the pig.
Streaming Pigs. Movies that we watched this week on our streaming services that you can watch too. Tyler, lead us off. What you got?
All right, so I have 2 movies that I watched this week.
All right.
Please clap.
Now we'll see how your commitment was that you said I don't want to back out of.
Yeah, well, you're gonna be disappointed. So don't
Just,
get your
just
hopes.
piling on
Don't,
Jesus.
the debt.
yeah, I know. However, I did watch two movies that I did watch two movies that I have never seen before.
Oh, there you go. It's an improvement.
So, 2016's Deadpool, I watched.
You haven't seen the original Deadpool, really?
No.
Wow.
That was the same response, like, to everyone that I've said that. You
Yeah,
didn't see the Deadpool?
It's not the Deadpool. It's just Deadpool.
I know.
You haven't seen the Deadpool?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you, a boomer?
No, that was the response to everyone.
You know what I saw on the Twitter the other day? There was a whole bunch of protesters outside of the Walmarts.
So 2016's Deadpool, I rated it on Letterboxd 4 stars and a like. Really enjoyed this movie. I know you want to cue that music up.
Nah, that's all right.
All right, cool. Good. The first time I heard of this movie, I wasn't a fan of the fourth wall being broken. I do like Ryan Reynolds' performance and cadence on how he delivered his lines because this felt like a passion project. The violence was awesome, and overall, this was a very fun movie that I was quick to judge. Grade B+ and a report. The first Deadpool movie just was awesome. I had a very fun time. It's short, sweet, to the point. And I thought that the fourth wall breaking was going to bother me because when the movie first started having trailers out for it, I wasn't into it. I was like, why?
It didn't tell you.
Yeah. And so finally watched it years later, and I'm glad that I did.
Yeah.
Really glad that I did.
Very nice.
Going on to my next streaming pick.
Okay, that's it. Okay.
I mean, like, there's...
Do you like the pegging?
That was...
Happy International Women's Day.
I mean,
That's my favorite. That's my favorite part, if we're going to be honest.
I mean,
that and when he's gets his legs blown off and his little dick is hanging out.
Yeah, that was...
Baby legs.
It's so stupid.
It's just dumb fun.
Sure is dumb.
They mixed a lot of serious aspects to his story with like the funny stuff. I think there was a little bit too much of fourth wall breaking, but
That's how it is in the comics, isn't it? Isn't he break the fourth wall in the comics?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I know nothing about Deadpool other than that he has like regenerative.
He's got the healing abilities.
He has the healing powers. So I know nothing about him. I know that he's kind of like a wacky, kooky character. So I thought that Ryan Reynolds, when this movie was coming out, there was a bunch of chatter on the internet saying Ryan Reynolds should play Deadpool. And then he responded on social media saying, I really want to play Deadpool. And I think he aggressively went to studio exexecutives.
He did play Deadpool in Origins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had his mouth glued shut or whatever.
Right. I know he tried very hard to sell a Deadpool movie. He had a pretty big hand in it. And he did great. And I think that's why his performance was so well, is because he wanted to do it. Like, this was a passion project for him. I think he even funded it in some ways too.
Well, they made a short film first before the first Deadpool movie.
They did?
As like a pitch.
He was so passionate about playing the character that he funded the short.
And it's just like one action sequence.
Yeah.
On the freeway.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I actually do remember that.
And then he became the producer and like basically like the heart of that entire project.
Yeah. So I mean, you can really tell like on screen that he was passionate about it, and that's what made it good, because he was acting very well. He played the character that he wanted presented on screen. And the Colossal, the Russian metal guy, was really funny.
Yeah.
And I like the interaction between what was it? Her name?
Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Very careful about that, Tyler.
Why? That's her name. Or they. I don't know.
They. He's like, what should I be careful about? What am I missing?
I don't know.
Just don't slip up saying that name.
Yeah.
I'm your
So
host, Outrageous Tyler.
Boy, you sure are outrageous.
Tyler, you're outrageous.
That's a long clip.
that was good. That was good. Then I watched Deadpool 2.
Oh, really?
I had a feeling that was coming.
You back-to-backed them.
Yeah. And this one I didn't like as much. I gave it 3 stars.
First one was 4?
Yeah.
right.
So
I'm inverse on that.
So this one,
really,
I said on Letterboxd, the sequel to this franchise did not really hit me like the first one. Although there was still funny lines and bits, it was far and few between than the first one. It took a more serious tone, and I was expecting more zany ultra violence. I thought it was okay, but at the end of the day, I was wanting more of the absurd grade C plus in the report. So this one definitely takes a more serious tone with. I don't know if I should spoil it or not, but I mean,
it's fine.
When his loved one dies by her getting shot in their apartment, it becomes more of a superhero action movie, whereas Deadpool felt it was going against the grain of what was coming out at the time. Like at the time, you had the first one, Avengers was coming out, and Captain America and Iron Man and all of that stuff. So it was going against the grain of the serious superhero movie. But with this one, it felt like it was towing the line of being like the original one,
but also being more of a traditional MCU movie.
Right. And so it still was fun. One of my favorite parts of both of these movies is the opening credits, where they're saying produced by some asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was really funny. And the second one, the story was a little bit convoluted too. I wasn't really sold on the story. Like there was having to deal with some kid and
played by Julian Dennison, the kid from Hunt for the Wilder People.
One of my favorite lines though is when he goes, when he quote unquote dies and he goes to heaven, like they're talking shit on the kid's name, Russell. I like that. I like that. I like the conversation they had when they were planning to have children. They're like, yeah, we're not going to name him Todd. Like, I have to feel like that's some kind of joke. Like there's someone like high up that was named Todd. And they're just like, yeah, no, we're not going to name him Todd.
Right.
But I thought, I liked it. I liked it enough. I didn't think it was bad. I just think that the first one was superior. And now we're getting Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be like a return to form.
Hopefully.
At least the trailers that I saw, it looked like they're going to mix it with the serious tone, but also lean more into the absurdity, because Wolverine that's a pretty serious storyline. So I'm curious to see how how they play that out. I really want to see it.
Did you see Brad Pitt's cameo
in the second one?
The second one?
No.
Yeah, he's one of the
he's a character called the Vanisher. He's the invisible guy, and then when they're parachuting out and there's the invisible guy, he runs into the power lines.
Oh yeah. That was Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Only for a split second, his face shocked. You could see Brad Pitt's face.
I wish I could have seen that. The parachuting scene was very funny.
He's
that
hilarious.
was a very funny scene.
And also, I like that they just have a normal person named Peter on their team.
Yeah,
played by Rob Delaney.
And then
he's featured he's in Deadpool vs. Wolverine too.
And my favorite, I would have to say my favorite character is the taxi cab driver.
Oh, he's good. Yeah.
I want to be a contract driver.
Yeah.
Or a contract killer.
Yeah, he's funny.
And I like that they brought him back because he played such a small role in the first one, and then he plays a major role in the second one. I like that aspect of it. So I rented those movies. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere. I'm sure it's probably streaming somewhere. So many.
You rented them?
Yeah, I rented them.
Oh, okay.
And great stuff. I can't wait for Deadpool Wolverine.
Let's see. Is Deadpool versus Wolverine?
I can't wait for the
It's on Disney Plus.
I can't wait for
it is?
Dang. I can't wait for the marketing to be over for
for
Deadpool Wolverine. I'm like,
yeah, it's
like all right, I get it.
Do you know that app Just Watch?
Yeah, but it's not always accurate.
But if you check Just Watch before you rent a movie, and then you can see on here, just like I did, that it's streaming on Disney Plus. You can go to it, and then if it's not accurate, then rent the movie.
Yeah, you know what? Hindsight's
It could save you $4.
Hindsight's 2020.
$8.
I don't care.
I put
That's
a.
fine.
Well, yeah, I don't care about money. I want to pitch in on this fucking show. Even
spend $8 on 2 Deadpool movies.
What are you talking about? I've offered.
Mm-hmm. Well, where's the money though?
Give me a hard amount.
I don't need a hard amount. Just give me the money.
$1,500.
Yeah, give me $1,500 right now.
Okay, well,
right now
on the table.
I can't do that. That's a little.
I'll
much.
take payments. How about
you know how long we running the show?
Payment plan
every month.
Yeah, but I mean, use Just Watch. It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, just put it right next to your Letterboxd app. I have my Notes app, my Letterboxd app.
That's what I have.
My Just Watch and my IMDb all in the same row on my phone. But you don't like to use your phone for stuff, though.
Well, for stuff.
You don't use your phone for.
According to Angie, it's also on Macs.
Hey, there you go.
No, I checked and I didn't find it.
I checked just. Oh wait, no, I didn't.
She was like DEDPQ
PEWL Puel Dead.
I can't find it.
Asterisk.
Like a what is this?
Blood drop emoji. All right, you good?
$sign.
Yes, that's all I got.
All right, Joseph, you're up.
Okay, I talked about Big Fat Liar last week, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I saw a Deadpool, or not Deadpool, a Longlegs poster. It was actually a Big Fat Liar poster that was done like Longlegs.
Oh, really?
It was all black and red and had his face, Paul Giamatti's face screaming.
That's hilarious. So I've been like going down like the early movie route. Like I've been watching a bunch of early 2000s movies or movies from like when I watched when I was a kid.
The classics.
Yeah, such as The New Guy.
Oh my God. DJ Qualls?
DJ Qualls
Oh my
and
gosh.
Eddie Griffin. Yeah, Eddie Griffin and Zoe Deschanel.
No shit. I've never seen it.
You probably don't have to watch it.
I don't plan on it.
Yeah.
Probably not going to happen.
This is a movie that I did watch when I was younger. It's came out in 2002 and it's streaming on Hulu right now. And basically it's about this guy who is just like a dweeb dork who it has an unfortunate thing happen to him where he's talking to the popular girl at school, the hot girl at school, and then he gets a boner and everyone's like, "What is that in your pants?" And then the whole school starts laughing at him. And then
you got a boner, dude.
And it's comically like Anchorman boner, where it's like
straight out,
just straight out pants tent.
Yeah.
And then like there's like a teacher, like this old woman teacher, who just like she's like, "What is this?" And she grabs it.
What the fuck?
And he's like, "Mrs. Griffin, that's my. And the whole the 2-story school, and kids are on the balcony just pointing and laughing, and then he like turns like that and he breaks his dick.
What the hell? What is this movie?
He breaks his dick.
He breaks his dick. And then I can't remember how. No, he's trying to get expelled and he ends up in jail with Eddie Griffin, who teaches him how to be tough, essentially.
Okay.
And then he ends up going to a different school. Hence the new guy. And his tactic is to find the biggest or most popular guy in school and just beat the shit out of him.
Okay.
Oh, prison style.
Yeah. And it sort of works. At the first, like he beats the guy up and nobody's there to see it.
How does he beat him up? He's a skinny guy.
Eddie Griffin teaches him some moves.
Okay.
That are effective somehow.
I got it. Makes sense.
Yeah. And then he eventually does it in front of everybody, and then he becomes the popular badass guy. And but from there, it's just not good or funny or anything. And I don't think at any point in this movie it would be considered a good movie.
Okay.
It's got DJ Qualls, Zoe Deschanel, Eliza Dushku from Bring It On.
And True Lies.
Was she in that?
Yeah.
She's the daughter. Yeah, she's the daughter. I forgot. But yeah, and the O'Connell brothers, Jerry O'Connell and his brother from Dude, Where's My Car? The like buff boyfriend of like the hot chick they're trying.
I thought that is Jerry O'Connell.
No, that's his brother.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's not Jerry O'Connell in Dude, Where's My Car?
No, that's his brother.
I didn't know there was a brother.
Yep, the O'Connells.
There's a brother.
Okay.
They had the O'Connell.
O'Connell rules.
And they're both in this movie.
Okay.
Briefly. But yeah, that's streaming on Hulu if you don't want to watch it.
I don't.
Cool.
You really didn't sell me on it.
I wasn't trying to. The next movie
did he get his dick fixed?
No.
It was broken forever.
It's never a part of the movie where he gets it fixed. Next movie I watched streaming on Disney Plus. I mentioned it earlier. National Treasure.
Oh.
Released 20 years ago.
Really? It's been that long?
Been 20 years.
Oh my God.
I was there 3,000 years ago.
And we watched this in preparation for our East Coast road trip, and just by happenstance, it essentially follows the same trajectory that we are taking on
That's
our road
really
trip.
funny.
Starting in DC, going to Philadelphia, going to New York, going to Boston, and then the movie doesn't go to Portland, Maine, but we are. And this was still fun after I don't know how many years it's been since I watched it. Since the first time, but it was really humorous to watch Nicolas Cage stand over the Declaration of Independence and go, "I'm going to do it. I'm going to steal a Declaration of Independence."
That's such a great line. It's so dumb. It encapsulates the stupidity and the funness of the whole movie.
The absurdity of the plot of this movie. There's a treasure that it was like the treasure of all treasures.
Yeah.
And that was
it's written, the map is on the back of the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
It's written in lemon juice.
And
so you can only see with the black light.
John Voight plays his dad, and the main character, Nicolas Cage, is Benjamin Gates, and the Gates family has been essentially ostracized from the government community. Because like their name,
government community,
their name Gates is they're associated with like being conspiracy theorists,
like Bill Gates.
Sean Bean plays the antagonist in this because he's also trying to get to
I forgot
the national treasure.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a patriotic Indiana Jones type movie or Uncharted story.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fun, dated a little bit.
I've been thinking about rewatching this recently, actually.
But it's fun. It's a fun movie.
I remember it being exactly that, just dumb fun.
It's 3.5 star banger. That's what I would give it. It's lost a little bit of the charm from when I remember seeing it the first time, but it still holds up. Holds up to at least a rewatch. I don't even remember anything about the second one. I remember
Book of Secrets.
Is that what it is? Book of Secrets?
I think so.
Yeah.
What are they stealing? The Bible?
I don't know. Let's look it up.
The Bible of Bibles? Because you can just get a Bible anywhere.
The original Bible. Jesus's Bible.
Jesus's Bible, yeah.
Mother Mary's...
Which is mostly a pamphlet.
Mary Magdalene's skull in that alien suit. But yeah, that's streaming on Disney Plus, of course. And then I rewatched a childhood classic of mine, Street Fighter.
Oh my God.
With Van Damme and Raul Julia and Kylie Minogue.
Yeah, Kylie Minogue.
I haven't seen that before.
Street Fighter, really.
It's wild.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's insane. Insane.
I think it's a great rendition of a video game movie because it doesn't take itself seriously at all.
No, and Raul Julia is doing a really
fucking great,
doing the most.
And in his captain's chair where he's controlling things, it's joysticks and the buttons like an arcade game.
Yeah,
that's so
awesome.
stupid.
It's not a great movie, but it is really fun to watch. I learned that Van Damme was very difficult to work with and also addicted to cocaine.
He was high on cocaine the whole time. And hookers.
Yeah.
He was addicted to hookers. Him and Kylie Minogue would run off to Amsterdam constantly during the production.
But yeah, Raul Julia's performance in this is something to appreciate because it was his last role that because he had cancer at the time while filming. But when he goes Super Saiyan, essentially, when he gets overpowered, his performance is electric, for lack of a better word.
For you, it was the worst day of your life. For me, it was just a Tuesday.
Is that a real line from the movie? That's awesome.
He's talking about how he slaughtered her whole village.
Yeah. Oh my God, I gotta watch it.
M. Bison.
This is streaming on Netflix, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. Streaming on Netflix. Worth a watch, even if you're not familiar with the Street Fighter games.
It's so funny that Guile, who's like the greatest American hero in the Street Fighter games, is played by Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Belgian or something?
Yeah, he's Belgian.
Yeah,
And Kylie Minogue.
I'm here to liberate you from America.
Yeah. Kylie Minogue of Biodome fame.
Oh, fuck. I forgot she's in Biodome.
Yeah.
I always forget it.
And then, not streaming, but I caught in theaters. I went and saw Longlegs.
All right.
I went and
Another
saw
Nicolas Cage movie.
another Nicolas Cage movie.
Me too.
Very different.
Yeah, me too.
Not like National Treasure at all. And
Not even a little.
no, other than the fact that Nicolas Cage
There's a mystery.
is in it.
There's some.
There's a mystery.
And I liked it a lot.
Yeah, me too.
I liked it quite a bit. It has probably one of the best aesthetics, vibes, tones for a movie of the year so
Really?
far. Like, I loved the cinematography and the coloring, and it was just that all that stuff is so well done. And Micah Monroe was also really good in it as the lead FBI detective. And the ending, I loved the ending.
Did you really?
I really loved the ending.
I thought it was great. I had a lot of people pissed off about the ending.
I was gonna say I heard a lot of people. I heard it's very polarizing.
It's a very polarizing movie.
Yeah. I know Bruce was like 5 out of 5.
Yeah, he loves it.
On it. I'm not quite that high, but I did really, really like it. I will say that I feel like Nicolas Cage was a little bit miscast in this movie. His performance felt too Nick Cagey. His character was creepy, but it was also a little bit goofy.
Yeah, he was goofy.
It wasn't. This movie is a victim of its own marketing a little bit because it has really, really good marketing. So that hyped it up a lot for people, I think, and even for me. I can agree that I was like maybe a little bit overhyped, but also people are going in thinking it's going to be a horror movie, and I don't think it's a horror movie.
It's like a mystery suspense thriller.
It's closer to like a Silence of the Lambs type movie. Maybe not like quality
crime thriller,
but of that that genre where it's like more disturbing and less.
There's horrific aspects to it.
It's like Silence of the Lambs if Stephen King wrote it or something.
And there's some like very disturbing parts of it and very creepy, and the whole movie is like a creepy, intense. The pacing is really good. It's very much a slow burn type movie. A lot of use of wide lenses and tracking shots, and Oz Perkins likes this letterboxed type of like old film rounded corner frame. He likes to use that a lot as a way to show like a flashback or something. But yeah, really, really well done. Really well like executed movie visually, and some of the writing for Nick Cage was silly.
I don't even know if it was written. I feel like he just was being himself.
He was just being himself.
I think that he shouldn't have been that role. I think it should have been an unknown, or David Dastmalchian. I think a character, more of a character actor, would be more suited for that type of performance. But yeah, the ending was shocking. And
should we do a spoiler discussion and like put it on Patreon or something?
Maybe if we have time.
Yeah, we'll see
do that. But yeah, it was really good. I'm glad I saw it in theaters. Can't wait to watch it again, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it was an amalgamation of so many other movies that I like or shows, like Prisoners, True Detective, Silence of the Lambs, and I think those are the only 3. Oh, and A Splash of the Witch.
Yeah, have you seen Cure?
No.
It's a pretty solid like supernatural thriller that's in the Criterion Collection. I watched it because Bruce recommended it to me. Couldn't find it anywhere, so I had to buy a disc for it, and it's pretty good. I'm well into it. It has a lot of same vibes where you're like the whole thing just feels like there's this dark mystery, and you kind of feel dirty watching a lot of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say the only detractor was Nick Cage. Honestly, he was a little bit distracting.
I think. Are you done with it? Okay.
That's in theaters.
I'll start out my streaming picks with my also review of Longlegs because I watched it as well, and I think that there's one scene when Cage is driving the car and screaming that felt like Nick Cage.
Yeah.
The rest of it, I bought it. I think his face, the makeup that they put on his face, pulls enough away from him where he feels like a cross between Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs and Tiny Tim, the guy that sings Tiptoe Through the Tulips.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like them two mashed together and also make him a Satanist, which is like...
And make him an albino, too.
Yeah.
Giving albinos a bad name.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because, you know, and this I'm gonna stay away from spoilers, but at some point in the movie, they're talking about this person and they're like, well, clearly he worships Satan. And there's no like indication really that he worships Satan at some point, but the FBI people they have like their profile.
He's a devil worshiper.
And it's like the satanic panic sort of thing.
And this is like takes place in the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that tracks.
Mid 90s, I think.
Yeah.
And I come down. Oh, Bruce says Cage did not ad-lib much of anything, or at least that's his hunch. I don't know. There was a couple of parts.
Let me in now.
The part in the car, I think, it felt like Cage being Cage. The rest of it felt like a completely different character. So Micah Monroe killed it. She was great. Heather in the chat mentioned exactly what I felt. It was like watching open doorways and background shots of scenes.
Yeah.
So it felt like Lee Wynell's Invisible Man.
There's a lot of subtlety in the movie that are in like the backgrounds that it's like, because it's so tense, you're like kind of like looking for things. And sometimes there are things that are in the background that don't come to the foreground at all.
Yeah. Yeah. It's masterfully shot. I think I watched like half of The Black Coat's Daughter with Brianna last week. I didn't log it because I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but she was watching it and I was kind of in and out of the room, and very similar dreadful sort of vibe, and you're not quite sure what is happening in that movie to the end. And that features Kieran Shipka, who's in this as well for a short scene. She's great in this. Blair Underwood is fantastic. I love him.
He's the cop.
He's her cop partner or boss or whatever.
Yeah.
His voice is so perfect for that role. And I think that a lot of it is telegraphed. Like you kind of know where it's going in certain instances, which was a little bit of a detractor for me. You're like, oh, it's this girl's birthday, and oh, it's also this other girl's birthday. Oh, okay. Well,
you kind of see where
I see what's going to happen here. But then it's a very different version of what you're expecting.
Yeah.
So you can expect something, but you're not 100% right. You might be 50% right or something. So I also really enjoyed the vibe, and I think I would be remiss to not mention that this is written and directed by Oz Perkins, also known as Osgood Perkins, also known as Anthony Perkins' son, who was from Psycho. Anthony Perkins, the villain from Psycho.
Oh.
Yeah, Norman Bates. So that's his son in real life. And there are some themes there too. Anthony Perkins was a closeted gay man who died from AIDS. And there are some, I think, a little bit of thematic notions to some of the character work in that. Not a ton, but Oz Perkins is a real fantastic filmmaker who I can't wait to see what's happening next with him. You know,
I don't even know what this movie is about, really.
Good, you should.
So
the marketing did a great job of like showing you some tone and some dread, but not not telling you anything about it.
No, because even when you're watching it, you're kind of wondering where it's going for a little bit, and like how it's all gonna add up.
Like I watched the trailer and it's like
it's very
it's very ambiguous on what it's about, but from what I saw, it looks good. But then I saw the reaction on the internet, and it was very polarizing.
Yeah, I think people going into it with a certain idea of what the movie is going to be like are going to be disappointed because it's not a slasher. It's not really a horror movie. It's more of a suspense and thriller.
Yeah.
And the deaths in it, I don't want to say anymore, but I was expecting a gory slasher sort of thing or some sort of weird monster. I don't know what.
Yeah.
And it was very different. It was like, think of the deaths in Silence of the Lambs. None of them are like horror.
Yeah.
They're not like slasher gore. It's like a serial killer in real life shoots people or kills people with a knife.
So it's essentially a thriller with horrific aspects to it.
More dreadful aspects.
Oh, okay.
So anyways, yeah. So I liked it too. I thought it was pretty great. I think it's probably going to go up on a rewatch because there's so much mystery involved. And I think the writing is better than I think it is. I think there's a lot of setup and payoff that I just didn't catch because I was really just immersing myself in just the vibe of the movie.
Yeah, there is a moment where I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also starring Alicia Witt, who plays 2-year-old Alia in Lynch's Dune.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I saw her pics of her or clips of her on Twitter doing
she plays
that voice.
The main character's mother.
Yeah.
Micah Monroe's mother.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. So that's Longlegs. Worth a watch in the theater. I'm absolutely going to buy this when it comes out on physical release and rewatch it at home with Brianna and try to pick up some.
Just like great aesthetic vibe.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah.
Like
creepy
design and the movie itself.
Okay. So for my streaming movies that I watched this week, I'm going to start go worst to first. First one is a Netflix original movie, which is starring the most beloved Jessica Alba. This is called Trigger Warning.
Oh God!
She is the lead of this action movie. She plays a like military. I don't know. She's a special forces commando who goes undercover as a dangerous conspiracy unfolds when she returns to her hometown looking for answers into her beloved father's death. So she's out in Kandahar or somewhere in the Middle East fighting terrorists, and then she gets called home. Says, "Papa died. You need to come home." And she comes home, and there's this conspiracy about how he really died and all this kind of stuff. And she's this knife wielding, hungry to stab.
So much knife talk.
A lot of knife talk lately, yeah. And she's
sounds like Rambo. Like she sounds like a
little bit.
It's
a little bit character.
Of that. Isn't there a she Rambo? Isn't there like a female Rambo?
A she Rambo?
Shebo. I don't know. So this is starring Jessica Alba, Anthony Michael Hall, Tone Bell, Mark Webber, Jake Weary, Gabriel Basso, and there's a couple other people that have smaller roles that you might recognize. Of all the mid-action movies out there, this is the middest. It's not particularly terrible, but it's also not particularly good.
Oh.
It's like a 2.5 star movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's serviceable. It gets the job done, and it was cool to see Jessica Alba again, and she does pretty good in her action stuff.
Okay.
But like the story is very, very over the top ridiculous. Like there are terrorists in this small town. Not terrorists, but they're like gun runners or like local guys, and there's this conspiracy that goes with the local police. Maybe they're corrupt, and there's a mine that's involved where they do the smuggling of the drugs. And she's got a bar that her dad owned and she grew up in, and they want to save the bar, but there's illegal gun runners there, and it's like it's all very tropey and whatever. But it's on Netflix. Watch it or don't watch it.
Okay.
Trigger warning just came out.
Trigger warning.
Trigger warning. That's what it's called. Next one. This is a Coen Brothers movie. I'm on a quest to watch all the Coen Brothers movies. I got 2 left. After this one, it's streaming on Kanopy and Netflix and Roku. This is called The Hudsucker Proxy. You guys seen this movie?
Never heard of it before.
Never heard of it? Mm-mm. So the plot says a naive business graduate is installed as a president of a manufacturing company as a part of a stock scam. So I never quite got, this is starring Tim Robbins, and I never quite got the Tim Robbins appeal. I never thought he was a particularly good actor outside of Shawshank.
War of the Worlds?
Yeah, he was good there. Over the top, but I think it was the point of that character. Also has Jennifer Jason Leigh in it, Paul Newman, Charles Dunning, John Mahoney, Bill Cobbs, Bruce Campbell, all-star cast. And this is one of the earlier Coen Brothers movies from 1994.
Oh, okay.
And it's a straight-ahead comedy. It's got a little dramatic stuff in it, but for the most part, it's like goofy as fuck, the whole thing, start to finish. And basically, Tim Robbins is in, it's like set in like 1930s, maybe 50, that's the 1950s. It's 1950s. And he's in New York City, and he goes to work for this corporation called the Hudsucker Corporation. And he, at the very beginning of the movie, the CEO, Mr. Hudsucker, kills himself. He jumps off the top of the Hudsucker building.
Nice.
For whatever reason. And all the board members are like, well, stocks are going to fall. This is going to be terrible. And for some reason, they decide, Paul Newman plays like the next in command, and they decide, well, how about we really drive it into the dirt? Yeah, we really drive it into the dirt. We sell all of our stock at the high level, and we're gonna install this nincompoop in as the CEO of the company, which is Tim Robbins, and he gets hired as like a mail clerk.
He'll be like the fall guy.
He's the fall guy. So they sell all their stock while it's still valued. The news of the owner's death comes out, and at the same time, they put this nobody in charge of the company, and they just let him do whatever the fuck he wants. Drive the stock prices down, buy while it's low, and then kick him out, and then rebuild the company.
Yeah, because that won't catch the attention of the FCC.
What the fuck do they care? That shit happens all the time. So that's basically the plot of it. And Tim Robbins is delightful in this movie.
Oh.
He is so charismatic and like so...
And this plays as a comedy?
It is a comedy.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't play as a comedy. It's 100% a comedy.
All right.
Start to finish. You know how like they have Oh Brother, Where Art Thou is like a tone poem sort of a thing for that era. It's like this.
Yeah.
It's mainly like a music video for, bluegrass of that era. And then at the same time, it's also funny.
Yeah.
This one is just straight up funny. And Jennifer Jason Leigh is a quick talking career gal that works for the newspaper and wants to get the scoop on this guy who now is running the Hudsucker Corporation.
Yeah.
And so she basically Mr. Deeds is him. She goes, basically starts dating him, pretends to be a small town girl from his small town. And they start dating, and she gets the scoop on him, and she realizes there's nothing there, and she's like even more confused. But the whole time, the funniest thing is he comes in and he's talking to everybody who will listen. He goes, I got big ideas, all right? I come from the School of Business in like Pacoima, Washington or whatever, you know? And he's like, I got this big idea. Check this out. And he takes his shoe off and he takes this folded piece of paper off in his shoe.
My God.
And he's got just a circle written on it, a perfect circle. And he holds it up and he goes, now this is going to revolutionize the world. And no one asks what it is. They just kind of go along with it. And at some point he presents it to the board and he goes, for kids. And they're all like, you know what? Go for it. No, it's not. It's just a circle. It's not a solid circle. It's like a ring, like a loop or something.
Yeah.
And it turns out it's a hula hoop.
Oh,
he makes a hula hoop. So
love it.
But his look on his face, he's like, for kids.
Yeah.
Huh? And it's just a circle. He's folding this piece of paper up with a circle on it. He's saved for years, and it's like so funny. So
had hula hoops already been invented at this point?
No. In this point, the hula hoop was not a thing.
Oh, okay.
This is early to mid 50s, something like that.
Oh, okay.
So while this is not a perfect comedy, there are a number of perfect comedic scenes in this.
Sure.
So there's some scenes that are just so fucking perfectly written, and the comedic timing of Tim Robbins and the Coen brothers editing is just great. It's so good. And then there's some scenes that are like, okay, this is a swing and a miss. Mm-hmm. So it's uneven, but it's still very good. But you can watch that on Netflix or Kanopy or Roku. All right. Next up, I have 4-star movies in a row. I'm going to try to blow through some of these.
Okay. Wow.
I had a great week of movie watching. This is William Friedkin's final movie before he went into the ground, the Caine Mutiny Court-Marshal. This one it's a 100% court drama. Mm-hmm. It's like A Few Good Men.
Oh yeah.
But A Few Good Men, they're set up about the characters, who's supporting who in the trial, and then there's interviews and conversations of people outside of the trial and all this stuff. Caine Mutiny Court-Marshal literally throws you immediately into the court.
Okay.
And it's a military court. So there's a serviceman who was aboard a Navy ship who was second in command to the captain, and he relieved the captain during a storm of his command and mutinied. He basically said, I'm taking command of the ship. Yeah. And he pushed him to the side and said, I'm the captain now.
I'm the captain now.
And that's basically the whole entire plot. It's all you need to know. And he's explaining through testimony of all these different people that are coming up why he did it, why he's technically guilty of it, but he did it for good reason. So Kiefer Sutherland plays the captain. He is phenomenal in this. I've never seen Kiefer play the type of character. He's like shifty and demure and a little all over the place and a little neurotic and a little nervous and unsure of himself. And he's fantastic. The main character who's being court-martialed, who's on the stand, is Jake Lacey. He's a face that you might recognize, but you may not know the name.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's in He's in the movie that I know him from was Obvious Child. He was in the Rampage movie. He was in Being the Ricardos. He was in. He's been in a bunch of stuff, but he was really good in this and pretty sympathetic until the end. There's a little bit of a turn at the end, which was really nice. I appreciated. And then the main defending lawyer who's defending the kid is Jason Clarke. He was the guy, the prosecutor in Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
So, and he's phenomenal in this too.
Oh, so this is more recent.
This just came out 2024. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm sorry, 23. It says 23. I could have sworn it was this year. I think
sounds like a movie that would come out in like the 80s or something. Just
that's what I was
based on the name.
Yeah, I was saying that was what I was thinking.
It feels like a play more than anything because it's all within the one courtroom.
It's like 12 Angry Men.
Yeah, very similar. But and then also Lance Reddick is in this. He plays like the lead judge, but it's in military tribunals. It's like there's 6 of them but he's pretty much the only one that has anything to do or say up there. And then there's just a number of people that come in and do the testimonies. And the first 2 acts of this, I almost bailed like 10 minutes in. I'm like, this is not good for the first 10 minutes.
Really?
And it gets better and better and better and better. And then the third act, it's really comes together because in a traditionally written movie, you might have seen the chaos that was on the bridge of the ship and seen at least a little bit of it from the reality of what it was. And then it cuts to the actual court case later or seen some of it. It's all told through exposition. So the entire movie is you hearing about it and piecing together the story of what happened on the bridge of that ship as the movie goes on, as the testimony goes on in the court. And then once the verdict happens, you feel pretty satisfied. And then there's a little bit more at the end, which really just solidified it. And it made you re-question everything that you had just seen in the case. So I thought this was pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
As I'm talking about it, I'm like, I might be a 4.5 star movie.
Oh, wow.
It might raise in
You're
quality.
hyping yourself up.
Yeah. But it's not as polished as something as like A Few Good Men. That's an easy 5-star movie. This is a little bit more like grassroots and feels more like a play than a film. So, but that's called The Caine Mutiny Court-Marshal, and it is streaming on Paramount Plus.
Speaking of freaking, when I'm in DC, I might be able to go to the Exorcist stairs.
Oh, cool. Yeah, nice.
Awesome.
And the Exorcist house, which is right next to it.
Oh, that's cool.
In Georgetown.
Nice.
Georgetown.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next one is another 4-star movie that is also from 2023, streaming on Max. It's called Problemista.
Yeah.
Problemista. This is a comedy, a ridiculous comedy by Julio Torres, also written by Julio Torres, also starring Julio Torres, also starring Tilda Swinton, RZA, and narrated by Isabella Rossellini.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This
Rossellini.
Greta Lee is in this. Laith Nikhil is in this. I've seen him, or Nackley. I've seen him a few things. James Scully, Larry Owens, a number of people. But this is a A24 movie that they basically just let this guy, Julio Torres, make whatever the fuck he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's some money. We'll take care of the rest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like you're a auteur. You have this idea. You want to make it. Here you go. Have fun.
We're A24.
We're A24. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
We're A24.
By the way, here's Tilda Swinton.
A caveat, you have to have Tilda Swinton in it.
It is a requirement. We don't have our Swinton quota.
Every first movie you have with us, you have to have Tilda Swinton with it.
That's right. That's right. And basically, the two of them become this unlikely duo. She's an eccentric, like a art house sort of. I don't know. She was married to RZA's character.
Okay.
And this is in an alternate near future or alternate present history.
Okay.
And there's people can freeze themselves now in this world.
What do you mean freeze themselves?
You can
like
freeze
cryogenic
freezing, so you can be awakened in 100 years or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Like you
Demolition
have an
Man.
You have an illness and you freeze yourself, and then
kind of. Hopefully, we'll have the cure when you wake up. Well, the funny thing about that is, hopefully, we'll be able to wake you up because right now the technology exists to freeze you, but not to unthaw you.
Yeah, it'll kill you.
Oh, okay.
So you have to pay month by month to be able to be frozen this entire time. And Tilda Swinton is basically paying the bills for him while he's frozen.
Oh my god,
who's frozen?
RZA.
Oh, okay.
Well, RZA, and RZA's an artist, and she basically is trying to sell the art that he made before he was frozen to fund his freezing.
Okay.
And
Why did
Julio,
he freeze? Okay.
yeah, he wanted to free. Yeah, you have to watch the movie.
Yeah.
But Julio Torres is this young immigrant who is needs to keep a job, and he works for the cryogenic company, and he gets fired, and he's trying to find a job to keep his green card, his worker visa, basically. And so he decides to work for Tilda Swinton as basically a PA, a personal assistant. And she is one of the most insufferable, difficult to deal with, does not live in reality people I've ever seen on film.
Yeah.
She is so fucking hard to deal with. Everything is an attack. You know, she orders something at a restaurant, and then before she even ordered, she's like, "Why are there so many walnuts on your menu?" And the guy's like,
I don't know.
well, the walnuts are great on the feta salad. He goes, "Are you guys obsessed with walnuts or something? Do you have chipmunks in the kitchen?" and he's like, I mean, I can get anything without walnuts. And he's like, "Why are you screaming at me? Why are you screaming at me? You're shouting at me." And he's like, "I'm just trying to give you another option." He goes, "Stop screaming at me."
I'm like,
And that's like one of the more mild interactions she has with people in this movie. So, and Julio Torres is the most quiet, sweethearted, mild-mannered person. And like when she interacts with him and gives him that same energy, he's just like, "Oh no,
no.
Okay, well, I'll do whatever you want, I suppose. You know, I'll eat walnuts. I don't care." and so
is he like allergic to them or something? And
no, he's vegan though. And he like at one point he gets a salad with cheese on it, and he just doesn't eat the cheese, and she tries to make a big deal about it, and it's in that same exact scene, and it's he's like, "No, it's okay, I just didn't eat the cheese." She's like, "No, it's besides the point. I needed something to happen." And the waiter's like, "I can refund you the money for the salad that had cheese on it." She says, "No, that's not what we want. We want action. We want something to happen."
Oh my
God. I can get
that does sound.
I can get my boss or something. She's like, "Are you listening to me? I want something resolved. I want resolution." And the guy's like, "I can get my boss or not or refund you, but what do you want?" She's like, "Why are you screaming at me? Why are you screaming at me?
Here we go again.
You're screaming again."
It sounds like a more embellished version of Woodcock.
It's like Beau is Afraid, but it's he's afraid of being deported. He's living in this world.
Well, I meant her character.
Yeah,
he's like Day-Lewis's character.
Yeah,
but dialed up.
It's very funny. This is a super funny movie, and it is absurdist. It is goofy, and he also is a toy designer, just like the Hudsucker Proxy. So a weird parody there.
Who? The main character?
The main character, the kid. Yeah. So that was very fun. That's streaming on Max. Problemista. I talked about Dolomite is my name last week.
Yeah,
you mentioned it.
I mentioned it. I forgot. I didn't log it for whatever reason. And I forgot to talk about it. This is super, super, super fun and very well made movie, starring Eddie Murphy, and he's playing the real life person that brought the character of Dolomite to the silver screen.
Right.
In the 70s. His character's name is Rudy Ray Moore. He created the iconic pimp character Dolomite, which was basically the basis for Bullhorn, the character of Bullhorn in Black Dynamite. He rhymes everything. Yeah. He dresses like a pimp. He's got big hair.
Yeah.
Kind of a goofy bastard, but everybody loves him for some reason. And the movie follows Rudy Ray Moore and his like struggles with being an entertainer. And then when he finds the character of Dolomite, how he finds it, how he hones it, how he gets it to screen when no one would fund it in the 70s because no one wants to watch black cinema back then.
Yeah.
And it's a very uplifting movie and a very fun movie in that way. Because
I think he was nominated, Eddie Murphy.
Was he?
For this movie or for that role, I think. At least like got a Golden Globe or something.
Yeah, I know there was a lot of acclaim for it, and I didn't know what to expect for it, and I had a really fun time with this movie. And then
so that one was on Max?
This one, I didn't say we're streaming it. Let's see. This is streaming on Netflix.
It's like a biopic, pretty much.
Kind of, yeah. It's a biopic from a very specific point in this character's life. And at the end of the movie, while the credits roll, you get to see clips from the real movie that correspond with the scenes that you've seen earlier.
Yeah.
And you're like, they couldn't put this in the movie. And then they show that clip and you're like, motherfucker, that's exactly like they showed it. There's a hilarious sex scene in this that is so funny because he's not a particularly well-built gentleman. He's not buff. He's not like action star. Yeah. So everyone's like, no one's going to want to see you fuck that white woman. And he goes, okay, well, how can we make it interesting? And I won't spoil it because it makes it very fun.
Okay.
So that's Dolomite is my name, stream on Netflix. Very, very, very fun watch. But my highest recommend of the week is a Michael Mann movie that just got beat to death on Twitter recently. I don't know
On
why.
Twitter?
Yeah, somebody posted up just a random person, Brandon Strusing. He's like this film guy. I don't know if he's a critic or works in film. I don't know what.
Some fucking guy.
Some fucking guy. He's got a million. He's got
he's just some guy.
a ton of followers, and for some reason, when he posts things, people like blow him out of proportion. I don't know why. I follow him, and it's very strange. And he posted the thing saying, "My girlfriend asked me what my favorite movie was, so this is a very important moment in our lives." And he posted the first 5 minutes of Miami Vice by Michael Mann into the 2006 movie, and from that sprung this fucking discourse that lasted like 2 weeks,
Christ.
and ultimately led to him being invited to this New York City film house where they were screening a 35 millimeter print of Miami Vice, and he introduced the film for the movie.
Oh my God.
It was this weird roller coaster, and I'm like, what? I didn't even know what the name of the movie was. He posted the clip and it doesn't say.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell what the fuck was going on. And I'm telling you, the first 5 minutes of this movie are fucking bananas. Michael Mann starts the movie in the middle of a scene. You don't know who any of the characters are. You don't know where they are. You don't know what the motivations
Is that the
are.
clip you posted?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's literally from the Universal logo, the literal beginning of the movie, and it's Encore, the Linkin Park remix of Jay-Z Encore. Is the song that's played in the scene. And the whole movie is wall to wall, cool as fuck vibe. It's all vibe.
And that's what Miami Vice was, right? It was supposed to be that show.
Yeah.
It was a reboot of the
Supposed
show.
to be cool.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a beloved show.
I
Like
don't-
from the 80s?
I think late 80s, early 90s, I think. I don't know. And I've seen some clips from Miami Vice, and I'm like, this is way more vibey and like Nicholas Winding Refn's Drive of a feel than I thought it would be. I thought it would be a shitty sitcom or shitty action. Serialized, whatever.
That was my first thought too. I was like,
but they're taking some big risks in that show, from what I saw. And then in this movie, it's the whole movie's like that. It's like a gigantic risk, and it's very strong action. I mean, he made Heat. Michael Mann made Heat.
Did he also do Collateral?
Yes.
Yeah.
Those movies, that and Miami Vice, seem very similar in terms of look. And Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hold on, let me pull up Michael Mann's.
Like Collateral I think is also very cool.
I like Collateral.
I think it's it's a like a low energy sort of a movie, but has a great vibe. Let's see here. I'm going to give you a little bit of his Michael Mann's credits. Ferrari, terrible. Public Enemies,
with the Johnny Depp.
Oh yeah,
movie.
Miami Vice, Collateral, Ali, Heat, Last of the Mohicans.
You did that, really?
Yeah, I didn't know that. Manhunter, Thief. That was another good one.
James Caan.
Yeah, James Caan. And I don't know, man. There's something about this movie that was it drew me in, and it made me like, I've never quite seen a movie, an approach with like this. It felt like, I don't know, it felt like there was some very strong choices made with like handy cams and shoulder mounted cams and stuff, and then immediately would cut to these ultra cinematic like helicopter shots of like go fast boats in the Miami harbor. And it was the vernacular that was used in it, this constant reference to go fast boats and drug running and just guys that are like the peak of machismo, and everyone and the main character is constantly drinking mojitos. It's like a part of his personality. I don't know. It's a very cool movie.
Okay.
So
is it set in the 80s?
No, it's set in modern time.
Okay.
06. So yeah, very, very fun movie. And that is streaming on, let's see here. Where is that streaming? Also Netflix. Netflix and Stars. So
cool.
Yeah,
nice.
Check out Miami Vice from 2006 and tell me if it's a dog shit movie or this is actually a cool movie, because I thought it was cool as fuck.
The discourse was like, this movie sucks on Twitter.
A lot of it, people were like, what the fuck? What is this? Men will watch this one movie and make it their whole personality or whatever.
It's one of those movies.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very, I thought it was very cool. And it was, the vibe it overtook me. So that's all I got. You guys got anything else?
Sweet. No, I do not.
Okay, so thank you to everyone joining us in the YouTube chat. In about 15 minutes, we're going to come back and review Monster Squad from 1987. And if you're on the podcast stream, that will be releasing, or on the later video stream, that will be releasing on Wednesday. So thank you to our cool-ass yard duties over on Patreon. That's Javier, Heather Sachs, Ryan Corbin, and Chris. And again, thank you to everybody who joined us in the chat or took the time to go watch the YouTube video, because that does help us in a big way. Until next time. Follow us later on in the week as we review Monster Squad, or in a few minutes if you're on the live stream. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/MCFC podcast, and send us an email, mcfcpodcast@gmail.com.
And follow us on Instagram at Middle Class Film Class, and leave us a voicemail, why don't you? 209-730-6010.
Follow us on Twitter at Podcast MCFC and on TikTok at Middle Class Film Class.
And if you're on YouTube, you'll see that the store is linked down there. If you want to buy some merch, get a MCFC shirt or a mug, it's right down there. All right, we'll see you guys soon.
See you next time.
See ya.
Class dismissed.
I gotta get out of here.
The bell doesn't dismiss you. I dismiss you.
You're free to go.
See you next week.
See you later. See you later.
That's a wrap.
Great show.